Thanks for staying with us. You're watching the AM show. Now, let's talk about the political cycle of road traffic accidents. And there are actually statistics that indicates that there are higher cases of road crashes and fatalities in election years since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1992. Just a few exceptions. My guest to have this conversation with me is Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Engineer May Obri-Yeboah. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
And after that interaction between my colleague Benjamin Akakpo and Obeda Samoa on Rawlins, you also have a certain revelation that the late former president was a road safety ambassador.
Sure, he was. The National Road Safety Commission was born in the year 1999, and that was under the administration of the late president. And so in the year 2015, the board and then Madimane thought that we had seen His Excellency do certain things that showed that he had some real interest in safety. So we went to him personally in his office, and we asked him if he could be an ambassador for us, which he readily accepted. So His Excellency, the late former president, has been a road safety ambassador, and I'm sure I've seen some clips of him really directing traffic himself at certain times when the whole place was in chaos. So he has been an ambassador. When he lost his mother just recently, we went there to commiserate with him also.
Oh, we've all lost somebody great
yes.
In the history of our country. May his soul continue
sure.
to rest in peace. But we're talking about the political activity, the season, and it has something to do with accidents, and the numbers actually go up during seasons like this. Share the trend with us.
Okay, so you are right. During seasons like this, especially years that we've had elections, right from the Fourth Republic, we have statistics, and it has shown clearly that those years that we do have elections have had higher crashes and sometimes even deaths as compared to the preceding year. And through from 1992 all the way to the year 2016. If you look at the trend, it shows only 2 years, that is 2008 and 2016, that relatively we had less crashes. 2008, we had 11,214 crashes, as against 12,038 in the year 2007. And then in the year 2016, we had 8,651, as against 9,796 in the year 2015. So you could see that the crashes have gone, but look at the figures again. 2007, we had 12,000 crashes. 2008, 11,000 crashes. 2015, 9,000, let's say 700, and 2016, 8,605. So when people say crashes are going up, and this is the trend. Yes, we don't, we are not happy about what is happening, but the numbers show that yes, there have been some kind of stabilization or even going down with the number of crashes. So it shows that something positive also is being done by all of us as a nation.
Could it be that we are reporting a lot more because we have citizen reporters who are using their phones because of the era that we're in and taking shots of everything that happens in posting?
Definitely, and I think that is the best. If we want to change our habits and behaviors, we need some of these things to help us. We have always said that if people are not named and shamed, sometimes they will continue to do the wrong thing. So now we have a lot of radio stations, TV stations, people have their phones and they take pictures, etc. So we get enough information, a lot of information, as compared to those years when phones were were a bit scarce.
We reported in 2019, have we had an exceptional case in terms of 2019 going into 2020, because we've reported on quite a number of accident cases?
Well, it's sad for me because when there was the lockdown and we were in COVID, when we came back around, is it June, July, thereabout, we saw that the crashes had drastically gone down as compared to the previous year, that is 2019. And we thought that we had to sustain it. So a lot of work has gone on, especially ourselves, the multimedia, the ministry and others have come together, how we can help to either bring it down or even not let it go up again. Unfortunately, the statistics I'm reading or I'm seeing, it's not in the best of taste. Because I can see that the number of crashes have gone up relatively, about 6% as compared to the previous year, that's 2019. And then the number of deaths also have gone up by about roughly 9%. Last year, around the same period, we had 1,910 people dying through road traffic crashes. But as of 31st October, this year is 2,080. And so it's gone up. The only thing that has gone down is pedestrian knockdowns. And it's gone down roughly about 1% or so. So it is not a good story, I must say. That is why there is the need for this rigorous Arrive Alive campaign that we need to undertake. Because we are getting into even the wet season, that is next month and then beyond, where we have Christmas also coming. So I think the statistics are such that we need to do something, all of us as a nation.
So what exactly do we do wrong in election years?
In fact, in election years, it's just like any other country. A lot of movement, and therefore people are more at risk. Once you move onto the road, more vehicles get onto the road, people are more at risk. And you know, this political season, people would move in vehicles. We have said it severally, that people should not be bussed or should not be put in buckets. A lot of times you see people in buckets, and sometimes just one crash, and you get probably about 30 or 40 people being injured, some dying. Also, the motorcycles have been an issue for us over a couple of years now, and the past years have not been any better. You see that during election period, they would be maneuvering and doing things that probably people think that is just fun. But in the end, people die through this. So these are some of the things. And then our behaviors during this season, sometimes I don't really understand, but it's like during election period, nobody wants to obey the rules and regulations on the road. As soon as you see people, or even Christmas time also, the people who move from the market, come onto the road, want to sell on the road, and when the assembly or the police would want to do their work, it's like if you touch us, then we will not vote for you. And then it makes it, the political world sometimes is not there for us to do our work. So these are some of the things that come up during election years.
Well, thankfully, you know the strategies.
Yes.
So now we have to ask you, since you are the National Road Safety, and again, thankfully, you are an authority, so you have a lot of powers. What's your own strategy? How do you intend to deal with this?
Yes, we have said severally that road safety is a collective responsibility, and we need all stakeholders to come on board. Yes, we will continue to do our normal sensitization advocacy, but now, like you said, as an authority, we have the mandate now to exert some kind of compliance from our stakeholders. When we are talking about this, we are talking about those, the institutions, because the law says that we are supposed to ensure that they comply with their standards and then their procedures. But we will need people to understand. You see, if you don't change the mindset of people also, you can do what you can, they will still do the same thing. They need to understand why they should let's say, put on their helmets, or they should put on their seat belts when they are in a vehicle. So we'll continue with that. But the enforcement part of it, which is the police ourselves and then DVL and others, we'll have to step it up. And then we need the political will. We need the political will, because there are times the police will want to do their work, but probably they are not on the road. For example, the Arrive Alive campaign, we cannot do it without the police. The police have to be there to support us to do their work. So I think the political will is a major thing that we need in this campaign so that we can get the right results. We want to show the whole world that something can be done during election periods. I know that is the trend. It's not only Ghana. it's the trend elsewhere. But what can we do as a nation to tell the world that, yes, Ghana has done it because we understood why we should bring crashes down, and everybody played their role. That is why you'll find out in the objectives for the Arrive Alive campaign, we said, yes, we want to reduce indiscipline on our roads, and 2, which is very important, the laxity of those of us who are in the road safety space, that is those of us who are policy makers and implementers, we have to do our work so that people will know that we are being paid for doing our work, and then just receive our pay and let people die on the road. No, that is not what we are supposed to do.
I was just checking out what happens in the U.S. and I was reading a report that said that there's an increased risk of car crashes on presidential voting days. So this is not just exclusive. They have even zeroed in on the day that people vote.
But yes, it's I won't say it's normal, but it's the same almost everywhere. But people put in structures of policies so that you reduce it to the minimal. This is what we want to do with our campaign.
We were catching up on the activity that you were doing last week, which was to educate people on the use of the seatbelts. And well, did I show a bit of surprise? You were not arresting. So your officers were teaching people to do the right thing.
Yes.
For how long would we continue the education? Because sometimes I feel like people deliberately pretend that they don't know either the use of the seatbelts or they give certain excuses for not wearing it, for instance.
Okay, thank you. That is a question because the law has been there since 2012, the LI 2180. But we decided as a team, stakeholders, that this time, I just told about the political season, it will bring a lot of unrest. If we say we just go around arresting people. So we have decided that we would rather try and do a lot of education, let people understand why they need to put it on and show them how to put it on. So it was a deliberate decision we took. But the police have been told that if probably you see somebody as he's doing it often and it can be detected, that person can be prosecuted. But this time we want to teach people how to use it and why they should use it to be safe on the road.
So how are such campaigns going? I mean, do you get instant feedback? Do you see the success? Do you see the progress, if you like?
We see some progress, but with all campaigns, it would be naive on our side to say that, oh, it was just a campaign that reduced maybe the crashes or something like that. We will need to do it for a period, probably a year or so. Then we evaluate, but we do have a short-term evaluation. That will be in January. We'll have a short-term, no, I think it's February, because this campaign is up to the end of January. So we'll have a snappy research to see what happened. Then we will continue, because to have it to be effective, it has to continue for about a year or so. Sometimes even some campaigns can take about 3 years to make it effective. Okay, so we will see something and then we'll try doing some corrections. The feedback will give us some information, and then it will help us correct some of the things we did wrong.
Okay.
So we'll get the effect also later.
How are we ensuring, and when we say we, I'm talking about the authority, ensuring that the political parties own the campaign of road safety, particularly during their activities?
Okay. So over the years, I think at least when I came to the authority or the commission, during election periods, I think since 2008 or so, we've come out with a code for them, the political parties, and we keep improving upon it. So during political years, the years that we have political seasons or we have elections, we take the political parties through this code for them to understand. It addresses the drivers and how the tax that is ahead of them. The political parties are supposed to have champions, somebody who will champion the cause of road safety on our behalf, and also how to bus their supporters when they go, what they have to do, not driving tired, planning their journeys, etc. So there's a code to that. And our regional officers have, in fact, almost all of them have completed it. They've gone to their various, you have constituency and the regional, etc. But the national one comes off tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, because we thought that yes, we've gone to the regions, but at least the national people also need to know, or we have to remind them of it, because the main day is also coming. That's the 7th of December. So some of these things, any time from now to that day, as they go around, then they should be aware that these are some of the things they should take into consideration. So we cater for them during election.
So who are you addressing at the national level exactly?
Is
it the political party?
Yes, the political parties, the executives. Okay. Yes, we may not get the flag bearers, but some of the executives are coming.
Okay, and are we holding them? I don't know. Would you want to challenge us to what are some of the things that we shouldn't see them do, for instance, so that we can, when we see them do it, we can call them out?
I think one of the things that we will let them know is we are worried about the use of the crash helmets. We are not saying people should not own motorcycles. People can own motorcycles, they can ride it properly, but they should put on their crash helmets. So as a flag bearer or whoever you are, a parliamentarian to be, or whoever is going for this campaign, it should be in their speeches, telling their supporters to put on their crash helmets and not to misuse the vehicle or the motorcycle, the use of it. You see them maneuvering and doing all sorts of, which are so dangerous to them. People are coming to meet you. It's nice, but look, they are not in their crash helmets. You, as a political head, can tell them, everybody before you come to meeting should be in your crash helmet. I think these are some of the things we want to see them. And then the busing of people or taking them to the grounds. Should it be in pickups and then these trucks? They should be properly seated in buses. These are some of the things we want to see them do. Great. And of course, now we have COVID, so everybody should
observe the protocols.
The protocol.
Okay, great. What's the central message that the authority is sending across around this period, not just to the political parties who are campaigning, but to all citizens? We're talking December 7, but we're also talking Christmas.
Yes. In fact, for the campaign, our strategy is that road safety has a lot of arms. And so our strategy is that every week we'll take a particular topic and we'll treat it on all the stations, yours and other sister stations, whether TV, radio, etc., even social media. And so we'll treat it to its death. So everybody will hear about it. Then, in fact, this week I think we are talking about the political season. Then, as we get closer to elections, I'm sure some other sensitive topics also will come ahead. When we are getting to Christmas and speeding becomes an issue. People speed because they want to go and come back and pick more travelers or passengers. So these are some of the sensitive areas or topics that we are picking, so that if we treat them and treat them well, it does not matter which station you would want to turn to. You hear the same message. That is the strategy we've taken this time. So you cannot run away from it. Whether tree or ga or whatever, you will hear the same message that we are speaking of within the week. And I'm sure this will also let people remember, and then they'll do the right thing.
Great. Sometimes I get confused when an issue comes up. Is it an issue for the authority or is for the police MTTD? So I'm just going to ask my director to bring back the daily graphic newspaper, the front page. And I want to show you something. You can point us to the right direction. Whilst he works on that, I want to ask what we're doing at the bus terminals. Because around this period, also because of traffic.
Yeah, okay.
They want to quickly go and come and either avoid the traffic or make sure they do about 3 rounds before the traffic builds up.
Yeah.
So what kind of strategy are we also using in those areries? Yes,
thankfully, we now have a couple of staff, NAPCO and then our own staff, a number of them. In fact, Accra alone, we have about 90 people. Originally, we were just a few. You get to say just about 10 or so, but now we are just about 90. And so we have also divided them up into various teams, and they are visiting these lorry stations where they are educating the general public, the passengers and also the drivers, and then anybody they see around. on the safe use of vehicles and what they need to look out for, especially when you're going to board a vehicle. You don't just don't board any vehicle. Look out for certain things. The tires, I mean, you can have a look at it. If there's something wrong, you inform the station master. We are giving them all these tips, and then so that they can also be safe on the road. We hope that the police also will come and support us, probably on the main roads where they also be testing for alcohol, etc. But I think about a year ago, GPR2 themselves bought these alcometers, and we hope that they would also use them at the stations so that the drivers do not leave even the station before being tested. So these are the strategies. We are not only in Accra, throughout the country, we are the lorry stations doing our education.
What kind of powers do you have? What can you do to me, a road user, if I do the wrong things?
Well, as a citizen, all of us can impose a little arrest, should I say, because if you are doing the wrong thing, I can report you to the police, etc. But as an institution, the difference between us and the police is that the law says that we are supposed to, let me just...
So this is your act?
Yes, this is the Act, National Road Safety Authority Act, 2019 Act 997. So by our act, it says that we are to develop and promote road safety in the country, to coordinate and regulate activities, procedures and standards related to road safety, and to provide for related matters. So we are supposed to ensure that institutions go by their procedures, standards and activities by their act they are supposed to do. So we don't do that fiscal arrest and prosecute individuals like that. So like GPR2, it's an institution. So we have the right to ensure that they go by whatever they have in their act, not act, but whatever thing that brought them up. So that is the difference.
Okay.
We are not going arresting individuals, no. But we look at institutions. If it's DVLA, this is what you are supposed to do. Why are driving schools not doing this? We hold you responsible. That's the difference.
So this is what I wanted to show you on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. That's it. So this is articulated tracks parked along the Accra-Kumasi highway. They are parked. It's not like they are in traffic.
Okay.
So whose duty is this to clear them? Because this is absolutely not right.
Okay, so this can be, the police can do that. We also can do it. Okay. Because if we find out that, let's say it's GPRT truck, that association of articulator drivers, we can go to them and say, I don't know whether it's the same group of people or they are individuals, but we can go to that association and tell them that this is what we have seen, and therefore you are not supposed to park there, they have to move.
So this is, and the paper does a very good job by telling us exactly.
Yes.
This is the Nkoko Junction.
Along
the Accra-Kumasi highway.
I remember
bypass.
some years ago, the police too can do it anyway, but I remember some years ago, may he so rest in peace, Awuni used to be one of the police officers,
yes,
and we had a joint program with him, and we cleared all these tracks. I know he had a very tough time, because sometimes people don't want the right thing to be done. Meanwhile, when they are cleared, we are all safe. So yes, we can, together with the police, go and trying to get them out of that place.
Well, the Daily Graphic highlighted it. Now that you're on my show, I'm drawing your attention to it.
Thank you.
So that something can be done about it. I want to say thank you to you, and also to end by saying that our Arrive Alive is brought to you by the National Road Safety Authority. As you've seen, Engineer May Obriyabwa, the Director General of the authority, go on with the kind of things that are happening on our roads, but also what we can do, the charges that she's given all of us. And it's supported by Toyota Ghana and the JoyNews Drive Safe campaign. So thank you very much. I did promise your members that I would join this week's exercise.
Wow.
So that, you know, we can be drumming it and bringing the conversation a lot closer.
Yes, and I'm sure when we show some of these things also on TV, people see that somebody is watching them and they will try to do the right thing.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Stay with us. We've got another conversation coming your way. It's an ointment that we discovered on the show not too long ago, But apparently it's been there. It's the Ghana bomb. And we've got a conversation with Ice Herbal in a little bit. Stay with us.